If you are over 50 and trying to stay active, walking may seem like the simplest and safest exercise you can possibly choose. But here is something many people never realize until a doctor or physical therapist points it out during a routine health check. The way you walk can either strengthen your body and protect your joints, or slowly create new problems with posture, balance, and long-term joint health. Many adults walk every day believing they are doing everything right, while small hidden mistakes quietly reduce the powerful health benefits walking should provide. That matters more than most people think, especially after the age of 50, when the body naturally begins to change in several subtle ways. Muscle mass slowly declines, joints become slightly stiffer, metabolism slows down, and circulation does not move quite as efficiently as it once did. Researchers from Harvard Medical School and the National Institutes of Health have found that regular walking can slow many of these age-related changes significantly. In fact, consistent walking has been linked with lower risks of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, memory decline, and even early mortality in older adults. But there is an important detail many people miss, and it is something doctors often explain to patients during rehabilitation or preventive health visits. Walking works best when it is done with proper form, the right pace, and habits that support your body instead of quietly straining it. Unfortunately, millions of adults unknowingly develop small walking habits that reduce these benefits or gradually stress the knees, hips, neck, and lower back. The encouraging news is that most of these mistakes are extremely easy to correct once you know what to look for. In this video, we will explore 7 surprisingly common walking mistakes people over 50 make without even noticing them. More importantly, you will learn simple adjustments recommended by doctors, physical therapists, and longevity researchers that can make walking far more powerful for your health. And be sure to stay until the end, because the final mistake is one of the most common habits doctors see in people who believe they are walking correctly every day. Before we explore the common mistakes many walkers make, it helps to understand why walking becomes even more valuable for protecting health after the age of 50. Around midlife, the body gradually begins losing small amounts of muscle each year, a process scientists call age-related muscle decline, which can slowly affect strength, balance, and metabolism. Researchers at Harvard Medical School explain that adults may lose 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade after 50 without regular physical activity. That change may sound small at first, but over several decades it can significantly influence mobility, balance, and the ability to perform simple daily activities comfortably. Walking helps counteract this process because it activates multiple systems in the body at the same time in a gentle, sustainable way. When you walk regularly, your heart pumps blood more efficiently, delivering oxygen and nutrients to muscles, joints, and the brain that support energy and mental clarity. Studies supported by the National Institutes of Health show that consistent walking can also improve insulin sensitivity and support stable blood sugar levels. That benefit becomes especially important after 50 because the body often becomes slightly less efficient at managing glucose as metabolism naturally slows down. Walking also encourages movement in the joints, which helps distribute natural lubrication inside the knees, hips, and ankles that keeps movement smoother and less painful. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic often recommend daily walking as one of the safest exercises for maintaining joint mobility while protecting the cardiovascular system. Another powerful benefit involves the brain, which many people do not immediately associate with something as simple as walking. During moderate walking, blood flow to the brain increases, delivering oxygen and nutrients that support memory, concentration, and emotional balance. Several long-term studies suggest older adults who walk regularly may have a lower risk of cognitive decline compared with those who remain mostly sedentary. But here is the key detail many people overlook. Walking produces these benefits most effectively when the movement is done properly and consistently. Small mistakes in pace, posture, or routine can quietly reduce these advantages without people ever realizing why their walks feel less effective. So now, let us look at the first surprisingly common walking mistake many adults make the moment they step outside the door. The first walking mistake many adults make happens during the very first minutes of their walk, often before the body has fully prepared for movement. Many people step outside their home and immediately begin walking at a brisk pace, believing this will help them burn more calories or finish their exercise faster. but the human body works much better when physical activity increases gradually, especially after the age of 50 when muscles and joints need slightly more time to warm up. When you suddenly start walking quickly, your muscles are still relatively stiff and your joints have not yet begun producing enough lubrication for smooth movement. At the same time, your heart rate rises quickly before the cardiovascular system has adjusted, which can make the body feel strained or fatigued early in the walk. Doctors at the Cleveland Clinic often explain that a short warm-up period can significantly reduce the risk of muscle strain and joint discomfort. A proper walking warm-up does not require complicated stretches or athletic routines that feel difficult or intimidating for beginners. Instead, the goal is simply to give your body several minutes to transition from rest into gentle, steady movement. A helpful approach is to begin your walk at a relaxed pace for the first 3 to 5 minutes. During this time, focus on easy breathing and natural movement while allowing your muscles, joints, and circulation to gradually become more active. As your body warms up, you will often notice that your stride becomes smoother and your breathing feels more comfortable and controlled. After those first few minutes, you can slowly increase your walking speed until you reach a comfortable pace that slightly raises your heart rate. Researchers studying healthy aging have found that gradual warm-ups can also improve endurance, allowing people to walk longer without feeling early fatigue or joint discomfort. Some physical therapists even recommend thinking of the first 5 minutes of your walk as preparing the engine, just like warming up a car on a cold morning. This small habit may seem simple, but it can make your walks safer, smoother, and far more enjoyable over the long term. Now let us move to another extremely common walking habit that can quietly affect your neck, breathing, and even your energy levels. The second walking mistake is something many people develop gradually over the years without noticing it happening during their daily walks. It involves posture, which plays a surprisingly important role in how efficiently your body moves and how comfortable your walks feel. You may have seen people walking with their shoulders rounded forward, their head leaning down, and their eyes focused toward the ground. This posture may feel natural at first, especially if someone spends long hours sitting or looking down at a computer or phone during the day. However, over time, this position places extra strain on the neck, upper back, and shoulders because the head becomes heavier when it moves forward. Experts at the Johns Hopkins Medicine explain that the human head weighs about 10 to 12 pounds when balanced correctly above the spine. But when the head tilts forward several inches, the effective weight on the neck muscles can increase dramatically, sometimes reaching 40 pounds or more. That additional strain can lead to neck pain, shoulder tension, and fatigue during something as simple as a daily walk. Poor posture also affects something else many people do not immediately consider, which is breathing efficiency while moving. When the shoulders collapse forward and the chest becomes compressed, the lungs cannot expand as fully with each breath. Less expansion means slightly less oxygen entering the bloodstream, which can make a walk feel more tiring than it should. Fortunately, correcting walking posture is usually simple once you become aware of it and practice a few gentle adjustments. Imagine a light string pulling the top of your head upward toward the sky while keeping your chin level and your gaze looking forward. Allow your shoulders to relax naturally while staying slightly back, creating space in the chest so your lungs can expand comfortably with each breath. When your posture improves, many people notice their steps feel smoother and their breathing becomes easier even during longer walks. Next, we will look at another walking mistake that often causes knee pain and lower back discomfort without people realizing the true cause. The third walking mistake often has nothing to do with your body at all, yet it can strongly influence how your joints feel after a walk. It involves the shoes you wear, which act as the foundation for every step your body takes during daily movement. Many adults continue wearing old shoes long after the cushioning and support inside them have quietly worn down over months or years of use. Others choose shoes mainly for appearance without realizing that walking comfort and joint protection depend heavily on proper support and shock absorption. As we age, the cartilage inside our joints becomes slightly thinner, which means the body depends more on external cushioning to reduce impact. Without proper shoe support, each step sends more force upward through the feet, ankles, knees, hips, and eventually even the lower back. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic often explain that poor footwear is a hidden cause of chronic knee and hip discomfort in active older adults. Over time, inadequate support can contribute to inflammation, joint stiffness, and fatigue during walks that should otherwise feel comfortable and refreshing. A good walking shoe does not need to be expensive, but it should provide three key features that support healthy movement. First, the shoe should contain adequate cushioning that helps absorb the repeated impact created when your foot touches the ground. Second, the shoe should provide proper arch support that helps keep the foot aligned and prevents unnecessary strain on surrounding joints. Third, the sole should be flexible enough to allow your foot to move naturally during each step instead of forcing a stiff walking pattern. Researchers from the Cleveland Clinic also recommend replacing walking shoes roughly every 300 to 500 miles of use. That may sound like a lot, but regular walkers often reach that distance sooner than they expect. If your shoes feel flattened, uneven, or less comfortable than before, it may simply mean the protective cushioning has already worn out. With the right footwear supporting your steps, walking becomes smoother, safer, and far kinder to your joints over the long term. Now let us talk about another walking habit that many people believe is healthy, yet it quietly reduces the benefits of their exercise routine. The fourth walking mistake is surprisingly common, especially among busy adults who believe one long walk per week is enough to stay healthy. Someone may take a 60-minute walk on Sunday morning and feel satisfied that they completed their exercise for the entire week. While that effort is certainly better than no activity at all, the human body responds far better to consistent movement spread throughout the week. Your muscles, metabolism, and cardiovascular system adapt best when physical activity becomes a regular signal rather than an occasional event. Think of your body like a garden that thrives when it receives small amounts of water regularly instead of a single heavy watering once a week. When walking happens only occasionally, the muscles and cardiovascular system never fully adapt to the activity, which reduces many of the long-term health benefits. Health researchers at the National Institutes of Health consistently emphasize that moderate daily movement is more protective than rare bursts of intense exercise. Even shorter walks can trigger important changes inside the body when they are repeated regularly over weeks and months. For example, walking most days of the week helps improve circulation, stabilize blood sugar, and maintain muscle activity that supports balance and mobility. Many doctors recommend aiming for about 20 to 30 minutes of walking on most days rather than relying on a single long walk occasionally. The pace does not need to be fast or exhausting for the body to receive meaningful benefits. A comfortable pace that slightly increases breathing while still allowing conversation is often enough to support cardiovascular health. Experts at the Harvard Medical School note that consistent moderate walking can reduce the risk of heart disease by improving blood pressure and cholesterol balance. Even 2 shorter walks of 15 minutes each day can provide similar benefits if that schedule fits better into your routine. Consistency sends a powerful message to your body that movement is a normal daily habit instead of an occasional effort. And when movement becomes a habit, your muscles, heart, and metabolism begin working together more efficiently over time. Now let us look at another walking habit that many people overlook, yet it can quietly improve balance, circulation, and overall walking efficiency. The fifth walking mistake is easy to overlook because it feels harmless, yet it can quietly reduce how efficiently your entire body moves. Many people walk with their arms hanging stiffly at their sides, barely moving while the legs do all the work during each step. At first glance, this may not seem like a problem, but the human body is designed to walk using a coordinated movement between the arms and legs. When your arms swing naturally, they help balance the motion of your body and reduce unnecessary strain on the hips and lower back. Arm movement also activates muscles in the shoulders, chest, and upper back, which increases overall circulation throughout the body during exercise. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic explain that engaging the upper body during walking can improve stability and energy efficiency. When the arms swing rhythmically, they help create a natural walking cadence that keeps the body moving smoothly forward. This rhythm allows the legs to move more efficiently while reducing small imbalances that may otherwise affect posture and joint alignment. Another benefit many people notice is that natural arm movement can slightly increase calorie burn because more muscles participate in the activity. You do not need exaggerated arm swings or athletic power walking movements for this benefit to occur. A gentle bend in the elbows and relaxed swinging motion in rhythm with your steps is usually enough to activate the upper body effectively. Physical therapists often recommend imagining that your arms are quietly guiding the rhythm of your walk like a metronome guiding music. This subtle movement can also improve balance, which becomes increasingly important as people grow older and want to reduce fall risks. Doctors at the Johns Hopkins Medicine note that coordinated body movement helps maintain neuromuscular connections that support stability. That means something as simple as allowing your arms to swing naturally can improve both walking efficiency and long-term mobility. Now let us look at a modern walking habit that has become extremely common in recent years and can quietly affect posture and safety. The sixth walking mistake is a modern habit that has become increasingly common as smartphones have become part of everyday life. Many people now walk while constantly looking down at their phone screens, checking messages, scrolling news, or watching videos during their daily walks. Although this may seem harmless, it can quietly affect posture, balance, and awareness of the environment around you. When you look down at your phone, your head automatically tilts forward and your shoulders begin to round toward the front of your body. This position places additional strain on the neck and upper back muscles, which must support the weight of the head in an unnatural position. Experts at Johns Hopkins Medicine explain that repeated forward head posture can contribute to chronic neck tension and upper back discomfort. Over time, this strain may even lead to headaches or stiffness that people do not immediately connect to their walking habits. Looking down at a phone also changes the way people walk because attention becomes focused on the screen instead of the body's movement. When awareness shifts away from walking, stride length often shortens and posture becomes less stable without the person realizing the change. Another concern is safety, especially when walking outdoors where uneven pavement, curbs, or small obstacles can create tripping hazards. Studies discussed by the National Institutes of Health show that distracted walking increases the likelihood of minor falls and balance loss. Walking can actually become a powerful opportunity to reconnect with your surroundings and your body's natural movement patterns. Instead of focusing on a screen, try noticing your breathing rhythm, the pace of your steps, and the environment around you. Many people find that walking without digital distractions feels calmer and more refreshing for both the mind and body. Some doctors even recommend treating daily walks as a form of moving meditation that supports both physical health and mental clarity. Now let us explore the final walking mistake, which many people overlook even though it plays an important role in long-term recovery and joint comfort. The seventh and final walking mistake is something many people rarely think about because walking feels gentle compared with more intense forms of exercise. However, even low-impact movement places small stresses on muscles, joints, and connective tissues that benefit from proper recovery afterward. Many walkers simply finish their walk and immediately return to daily activities without giving their body a few moments to recover properly. Over time, skipping recovery habits can contribute to stiffness, muscle tightness, and lingering discomfort that makes future walks less enjoyable. Recovery does not require complicated routines or athletic training methods used by professional athletes. Instead, it involves a few simple habits that help your body repair and adapt to the movement you just performed. One of the most important elements of recovery is hydration, which many people underestimate after moderate exercise such as walking. Water supports muscle function, circulation, and the transport of nutrients that help tissues recover after repeated movement. Experts at the Cleveland Clinic often remind patients that even mild dehydration can contribute to fatigue and muscle stiffness. Another helpful habit is gentle stretching after your walk, which helps maintain flexibility and reduce tightness in the calves, hips, and lower back. Even 2 or 3 minutes of light stretching can help muscles gradually relax after sustained movement. Researchers from the Mayo Clinic note that post-exercise stretching may support joint mobility and reduce lingering muscle tension in active older adults. Rest also plays an important role, even though walking is generally safe to perform on most days of the week. Occasional lighter days allow the body to adapt and rebuild stronger muscles and connective tissues. When you combine regular walking with hydration, stretching, and reasonable recovery time, the body becomes more resilient and comfortable during daily movement. In other words, walking works best when it becomes part of a balanced health routine rather than a single isolated activity. Now that we have explored these 7 common mistakes, let us briefly review the key lessons that can make walking far more powerful for your long-term health. Walking may appear simple on the surface, Yet small adjustments in how you walk can dramatically change the benefits your body receives over time. Today, we explored 7 surprisingly common walking mistakes that many adults over 50 make without realizing they are limiting the power of this daily habit. First, starting your walk too quickly can strain muscles and joints before the body has warmed up properly for safe movement. Second, poor posture during walking can quietly stress the neck, shoulders, and lungs, reducing breathing efficiency and causing unnecessary fatigue. Third, wearing worn-out or poorly designed shoes can increase impact on the knees, hips, and lower back during each step. Fourth, walking only occasionally instead of consistently prevents the body from adapting to movement and building long-term cardiovascular strength. Fifth, keeping the arms completely still reduces natural balance and prevents the upper body from supporting efficient movement. Sixth, looking down at a phone while walking affects posture, attention, and environmental awareness, which may increase the risk of discomfort or falls. And seventh, ignoring recovery habits such as hydration and gentle stretching can lead to stiffness that slowly makes walking feel less comfortable. When these small habits are corrected, walking becomes far more powerful than many people realize for protecting health after the age of 50. Research from institutions like Harvard Medical School continues to show that regular walking supports heart health, metabolism, brain function, and longevity. The encouraging truth is that you do not need intense workouts or complicated exercise programs to experience meaningful health improvements. Consistent walking, performed with awareness and simple good habits, can support strength, mobility, and mental clarity for many years. Aging is something none of us can stop, yet the way we move each day can strongly influence how well our bodies age. Walking done correctly becomes more than exercise, because it is a daily investment in independence, energy, and long-term well-being. Now, we would love to hear from you. How long do you usually walk each day? 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes or more? Share your answer in the comments because your experience may inspire someone else to begin their own healthy walking routine today. And if you found this information helpful, consider subscribing for more simple, science-backed health insights designed especially for life after 50.